This is a story about a dude named Lane. He moved to the mainland and bought one place to stay. And then one day he went, tried to rent them out. And then he became one real investor man.
Everybody, Lane with the Simple Passive Cash Flow podcast here. I got a special guest, Erica Duran. She is a lifestyle design coach that I heard on another podcast, and I thought she'd be a really good person to bring onto the podcast. Even though she's not quite real estate focused, she's got the simple passive cash flow mindset, and she is helping others build lifestyle independence that they want. Hi, Erica. How you doing?
Hi, Lane. I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Where are you today?
Today? Well, I'm actually home free, so I'm probably against your real estate model there. But I am at the Palms Resort in Las Vegas today for a couple weeks, actually doing some VIP day intensives.
Yeah, I am originally from Hawaii, and one day I'd like to move back, but I don't want to be there all the time.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to be in Seattle part of the year, so we're definitely going to have to talk about making that happen one day.
Yeah, I just heard back from Hilton Waikoloa on the Big Island, and they want me to come back this next year, so I'm excited about that.
Great. So we got this list of questions, and let's just dig right into it.
Sure.
First question, Erica, is how much simple passive cash flow are you making today, and how you're doing it?
Yeah, most of my business is still one-to-one coaching and mentoring. That's where most of my cash flow comes in from. But I do have I say semi because I just launched my group program, and it's about $30,000 a month. Quasi-passive right now. I'm still building out the modules, so it's not completely passive. But once the modules are built out, it would be, that whole thing would be pretty much passive income. And then I have some podcast sponsors where I kind of see it as I'm doing the podcast anyway. So with or without them, I would be doing that. So that's somewhat passive income. That's another couple $1,000s a month.
Do you like to coach people one-on-one? Is that something that you like to do, or is it just not scalable in your opinion?
I love coaching people one-on-one. People really get the support they need when they are, in a safe space without anyone else judging them or anything in a group program, to really get the help they need and really open up and get the help they need and be vulnerable, without worried about their people, making fun of them or poking at their insecurities or what have you. But the way to scale the one-to-one coaching is with the group coaching, and that's what I just opened last month, is a group coaching and mastermind program called Club Alihi. So that's how I'm scaling it.
Great. Sounds like you're definitely on the runway to financial freedom there. The question 2 is, I know you mentioned earlier that you don't listen to Star Wars, but
I did. Yeah, I'm embarrassed. I never saw the movie, and I'm so embarrassed now.
Yeah, well, they're gonna start making Star Wars movies every other year, so you better jump on the bandwagon now. But for the rest of the 5 listeners here who know what Star Wars is, I call this the Han Solo moment.
Okay.
So in the movie, there is this Han Solo character, and he and his buddy Chewbacca were cruising around the galaxy, and they met up with main characters, and their life took a pivot point. When in your life did you take a pivot point and burn the boats, and what eventually led to what you're doing today?
Yeah, well, I was a hotel executive at several hotel chains like Marriott. I was a sales manager for the Western region in Hawaii. So one day I just was tired of the politics and walked out at lunch and didn't really go back after lunch. So I think that was really burning the boats, because the hotel industry is very small, and I just kind of walked out and was done with it. And I was divorced, and I didn't really have family, so I was really all up to me. I didn't, at the time it didn't seem so heroic, but when I went back, I'm kind of like, what was I thinking?
Was it one particular incident, or was it just like a build-up?
It was a build-up, but then it's funny, you're in Seattle. I went on a 5-day vacation to Seattle, and my boss, that didn't like me, kind of set up a bunch of mistakes and errors to happen while I was on vacation that was in my department. So I was just tired of that kind of backstabbing politic kind of thing going on.
And that eventually led down the path of your coaching business.
It did. It's been about 15 years now, and I've been in many different entrepreneurial ventures and everything, but it all led up to this one accumulation of everything in this coaching business.
So right after you quit at lunchtime, how long were you in free fall, not with a plan and not going into the coaching?
Yeah, I was really interested in a lot of things. So I was everything from a financial planner to a short sale specialist for real estate for quite a while. I was a web designer. I just did all kinds of things and nothing really took off, but I didn't really put my all into it either. I think I was just kind of playing around entrepreneur, researching and learning, and I would get clients, but nothing serious. So that was quite a long time. I'd say 5-10 years of ups and downs and surviving instead of just really getting my act together and focusing and picking one thing.
And what was it that made you finally go down the path of the coaching?
I was actually just listening to my audience. I kept trying to sell myself as a productivity expert because I wanted to take my professional organizing business online and I wanted to not have a home base and travel full time. And I was like, well, how does organizing translate to online? And I came up with productivity because I loved all the Franklin Covey stuff and everything. So I did that and I survived with that at about $3,000 to $5,000 a month, but nothing really livable or scalable or anything. As I was teaching entrepreneurs productivity, they started asking me tons of other questions like, how do you do this on your website? And how do you market on Twitter? And how do you market on Facebook? And just tons of business coaching type questions for like modern online entrepreneurs. And I just kept helping them with all those different pieces. And I kept not wanting to call myself a business coach because honestly, I felt there was just so many idiots running around on Facebook calling themselves business coaches. So I stayed away from that. But in the end, I had to just call myself what I was doing. I was coaching them on their sales, their marketing, their website, their social media, everything with their business. It wasn't really productivity anymore. So I just had to suck it up and call myself what I was because that's what people are searching for on Google. They don't search necessarily productivity expert. They search how to get clients or how to market on Twitter or something like that, or business coach even.
So you're a good example of someone who listened to their customers and organically grew the business. And you also mentioned another thing earlier there, that you had the lifestyle in mind and you always had that at the forefront and then built a business around that, it seemed like.
Yeah, of course, because I didn't want to give myself just a bad job again. So always and I didn't listen to myself a lot of times. And when I was a professional organizer, of course, you have to be there in person with the customer. So yeah, I was free. I didn't have a job and I had my own business, but here I am surrounded by clutter every day, which I hate because I'm a minimalist and I'm surrounded by clutter and I'm having to be in person with people and helping them in person. So I took a lot of clients and random jobs and things like that weren't location independent and had to, when I finally stopped doing that and just stuck my flag in the ground and said, I'm not doing that anymore, then everything went the way I wanted to. It's us deciding that's the problem a lot of times.
Third question here is, what's your worst life or business moment? And what did you do after that? And what was the lesson learned?
Yeah, well, there was about 5 years, not too long ago, I was just surrounded by all kinds of death and disease and family tragedies and just one thing after another, and when you're in it, you don't feel like it's affecting your business and yourself so much. I mean, I was still blogging every week. I was still on social media every day, but I was just kind of going through the motions. Didn't really see how much that was really affecting me. And what it taught me is you really do have to claim it. Just because you're doing all these things like blogging and social media, it's not necessarily going to happen for you. You have to really hustle and claim it in the beginning, at least, to get your momentum going. And another thing is just no matter what I want to learn or do, I'm going to just go cut the timeline short and get coaching and mentoring around it, because I wasted probably 5 to 7 years just fumbling around instead of the minute I signed up for coaching, I turned around within 30 days. It was crazy.
Right. And I just had another guest on here, and that was something that he said. He throws 25 grand on consultants for each of his business, and he just skips that learning curve and he saves all the mistakes up front.
Yeah, instead of trying to learn everything, I tell my clients now they want to learn Facebook ads or they want to learn this or that. I'm like, no, we're just going to make you successful, make you money, and then we're going to hire people to do your Facebook ads. Like, why are you learning everything?
Both of us probably pull out hair when we hear people worrying about how much the shovel costs when the job is to dig a hole.
Right, right. And it's an energetic thing when you invest in yourself. You're kind of taking yourself seriously now. You're, not available for being broke or struggling anymore. You're just not available for it.
Right. And I say this also with a caveat. In the real estate world, there are a lot of bad seminars out there for wholesaling, especially. A lot of these seminars cost about $20,000. And the payout for a potential project is about $20,000. Those seminars definitely don't make sense in my head. But for, something big like apartment buildings, when you're talking about $4 or $5 million projects, $20,000, $30,000 coaching help is a drop in the bucket.
Mm-hmm. And you have to look at, especially in my business, they're investing $5,000 to $10,000 in some coaching, but they don't just make that money back. They make that money back month after month after month.
And time is your most important thing.
Right.
So question 4 here. A mark of a high performer, as you know, is to put your ego aside and accept the help of others. So Erica, what's your 2-week experiment that you're currently working on, and what's your 6-month project that you're also working on?
Yeah, I guess my 2-week experiment is I'm totally revamping my VIP day intensives. So I've done them before, but I want to take it up a notch and add a 2-night stay at a luxury resort and add also the 6-month group program and mastermind to it and just revamp the whole program really. So that's something that's very short term for me that I'm working on literally today. The 6 months, I hate to keep bringing this up, but going back to my group program and mastermind, building out 20 modules because that's my road to having a lot more passive income and not repeating myself every single day with different people.
Right. Yeah. That's why we both have podcasts because, I feel like I get really good at some of these canned talks that did you see podcast number 52 or podcast 11? What's your simple passive cash flow number? It's the kind of the ultimate goal that you can kind of put things in neutral at that point.
I would probably say, well, it depends because my lifestyle keeps changing. But for now, it would probably be if I doubled it, it would probably be around 60 to 80,000 a month. Then again, I'm a minimalist, so I don't need that much. And then my podcast sponsors pay for a lot of my travel and room and board. So I've kind of been scrappy and scaled that way, being resourceful and negotiating these stays and things like that. So I don't need that much actual cash. I wouldn't turn it away, but I don't need that much.
People all have all sorts of goals out there.
Yeah. I'm honestly, with my one-to-one coaching, I'm at around, usually 20,000 a month. There's always ups and downs. And then the group program's going to add another 30 to 60 plus to that. So what my goal is, I don't want very much. So
it's interesting. Entrepreneurs, the reason why you got to the place you're at is when you hit that goal, you're just going to keep going more and more and more.
Yeah. There's always a new level. That's why I'm trying to tell my clients, don't get so caught up getting this goal or what have you, because there's always another level. You're not going to stop once you hit this level. And a lot of them are funny because when they finally do start selling their premium packages, they sell their first $5,000 package or whatever. They are so, when they finally get on the phone with me to celebrate about it, they're already on to the next goal. I'm like, wait. You were worried about, you would never ever sell a package and now you've just sold one and now you're worried about next week. Like, it's so funny. They don't stop and realize that they did what they were so worried about.
Part of the reason I asked this question is a lot of people have these limiting beliefs that, I just want to make $2,000 a month. They need to hear other people attacking their goals with the same drive that they're attacking their 2,000 goal.
Right. I ask people even in my first free session with them, what's your survival number? What's your really comfortable number? And what's your Beyonce living number? So I can get an idea of where they're at mentally with their wealth consciousness and things like that.
Question 6. I don't know if you subscribe to Tony Robbins' mentality, but he talks about 2 areas to continually struggle to gain perfection. The first is the art of fulfillment, and the second is the science of achievement. So, Erica, if you died tomorrow, what would be your final words of wisdom for both of those, the science of achievement and the art of fulfillment?
Yeah, for the achievement piece, I would say that people would just have to claim it. They have to go after what they want and stop researching so much and just try it, because a lot of times I've went after something and when I got it, I didn't want it. You're never going to know until you try it. And then the fulfillment piece, I would say, is knowing what you desire and what you yourself want. I think the statistic is less than 1% of the people even know what they want. They're just kind of going through life, going through the motions, trying to fit into society and everything, or their family dynamics. And they don't even know what they want. And it's really sad when I first get a client, they're kind of like that too. They're so disoriented and unattached to what they really want. And it's really neat to see within just a couple weeks, see them start to really claim what they want and go after it and not be in this fog anymore. They seem to kind of walk around in a fog sometimes.
That's kind of why I brought you on here. You can help people think outside the box. A lot of real estate investors, they're just merely trying to replace part of their income or replace one of their incomes. And I think what you can help these folks is, this whole lifestyle independence and, what's after you quit your job? What then? So, Erica, thank you for coming on. Anything we missed, or you want to leave your contact information?
Yeah, I don't think we missed anything. All of my online social media, blog, vlog, podcast, everything, of course, is attached to ericaduran.co. So that's my main website, and that's where everything else is attached to. So if they want to visit me there, I also have a private Facebook group that's free, that people can join in. There's about 1,200 lifestyle entrepreneurs in there, and it's fun.
I really suggest people get in those kinds of groups. I mean, it's a lot better than your average mundane news feed. I mean, to get in and seeing what these people are posting in these specialized groups is really just so important to watch your peer group and what you're consuming from them.
Yeah, and it really does become a marketplace of other entrepreneurs helping entrepreneurs. I had my first 20K weeks solely from just the relationships I built in Facebook groups.
So if you guys want to reach out to Erica, her URL is ERICADURAN. And I'm sure they can Google you, like how I did.
Yeah. Google's my friend.
All right. Thanks, Erica. Thanks, everybody.
This website offers very general information concerning real estate for investment purposes. Every investor's situation is unique. Always seek the services of licensed third-party appraisers and inspectors to verify the value and condition of any property you intend to purchase. Use the services of professional title and escrow companies and licensed tax, investment, and or legal advisor before relying on any information contained herein. Information is not guaranteed, as in every investment there is risk. The content found here is just my opinion, and things change, and I reserve the right to change my mind. Above all else, do your own analysis and think for yourself, because in the end, you are the only person who is going to look out for your best interests.